By now, most of us have gathered that meditation practice is extremely helpful. There's a lot of research showing that it is helpful with all sorts of medical conditions, that it can help you get a better night's sleep, that it reduces the stress hormone cortisol, that it can help you not relapse into depression when it's part of your treatment protocol. In addition, there's thousands of years of anecdotal evidence that shows that meditation helps develop wisdom, compassion, and confidence. This is one extraordinary practice. It is also considered to be the first step on the journey to enlightenment, to complete liberation from suffering. So, from getting a better night's sleep to being a nicer person to liberating yourself from all suffering, this is one incredible practice. However, what meditation is actually extremely simple. Here's the definition that I will offer you. All meditation is substituting for your discursive mind another object of attention. By discursive mind, what I mean is that part of you and me and everyone that is always commenting, judging, critiquing, weighing, assessing, and so on. In meditation, we take our attention off of that unending cascade of commentary to place it instead on another object of attention. So it's really very simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is very simple. In some meditation practices, that object is an image, something that you gaze at or imagine in your mind's eye, and when your attention strays, you bring it back. In other meditation practices, that object is a sound, something that you chant audibly or semi-audibly or silently, like a mantra. And when your attention strays, you bring it back. But in the practice that we're going to do, that object is very simply your breath. It's very convenient. You're doing it right now. You don't have to crank anything up or introduce any new notions. All you have to do is tune in to what you're already doing, which is breathing. The reason this is useful in relationships is because as we practice attending to our breath, we're not doing that, by the way, in order to be great breath followers. Like, it doesn't really matter if you're good at meditation or not. I mean, if you were deemed the world's most powerful follower of the breath, that would not be that great. It would be interesting, but it would not be that great. However, we practice attending to the breath so that when we get up off the cushion and go into our lives, we can pay attention to what's happening there. So we practice paying attention on the cushion, again, so that when we are having a conversation with someone, when we have to present a new idea at the workplace, when someone says they love you, when someone says they don't love you, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, you can actually pay attention to that. So it is of great importance. And what we're practicing on the cushion is paying attention. And without the ability to pay attention, the ability to love is vastly reduced. So before we go into the practice and sit together a little bit, I want to quickly review 3 key misconceptions about meditation practice so that you can avoid them. You don't have to get hung up by these things. I've been a meditation practitioner for over 25 years and a teacher for over 10. And these are the things I notice over and over again in my students and in myself. And I want to go over them so that you don't have to get tripped up by them. The first, biggest misconception by far is that in order to meditate, you have to stop thinking. That is incorrect. Also, it's crazy. Where's the off switch for thinking? There isn't one. So if you ever thought, well, I can't meditate because I can't clear my mind of thought, or I can't stop thinking, well, of course you can't. Telling your mind to shut up, never part of meditation instruction, by the way, is akin to looking out through your eyes, which I presume you're doing right now, or hearing out through your ears if you're visually impaired, and telling your eyes or your ears not to see anything or hear anything. In fact, try that right now. Try looking out through your eyes or hearing through your ears. And now give yourself the instruction, stop seeing, stop hearing. Try hard. Of course, you can't. And that is how difficult it is and how frustrating. to tell yourself to stop thinking. It is not necessary. And in fact, it is strange. So don't worry about that. We don't try to stop thinking in meditation. We simply take a different relationship to our thoughts. And we will investigate that when we practice together. The second big misconception about meditation practice is that it is a form of self-help. And while it will help you in all sorts of ways, physically, emotionally, mentally, it was not developed as a self-help tool or as a method for self-improvement. In fact, it is the opposite of self-improvement, in the sense that self-improvement starts with the notion that there's something wrong. We got to fix it. Okay, sure, there's plenty of things wrong with me. I'm sure everybody's got things wrong that they want to fix. That's great. But meditation starts from the opposite end of the spectrum. It starts from the assumption that nothing is broken, that you are whole, that you are complete, that you are fully worthy, healthy, and good. And therefore, there is nothing to fix. And what we are practicing then is dissolving any confusion about our innate awesomeness. So rather than trying to make you into a better anything, meditation is attempting to reveal to you your innate brilliance and perfection. So the less hard you try, interestingly, the more potent the practice is. The third and final misconception that I want to mention is that meditation will make you more peaceful. And I'm sorry to say that that has not been my experience. I mean, on some level, sure, it makes you more able to ride the waves of difficulty that you experience in your life. However, as mentioned earlier, when you sit to meditate, you soften toward yourself. You allow yourself to be who you are, and you stop trying to tinker or change anything. You actually sit with yourself in a fully accepting way. Now, when has anyone ever said to you, "You're fantastic, you're interesting, you're wonderful. Yeah, you do crazy things, but you also do awesome things." Just sit with all of that. It's all good. Speaking for myself, I'd say not too much. But in meditation, we soften in this way to ourselves, and in so doing, a wall comes down. The wall that we've built around ourselves, the incessant hammering and tinkering that we're engaged in to try to better ourselves, we stop all of that. And when the wall comes down, anything can come in, and does. That's not necessarily a prescription for more peace. In fact, meditators often report that the more they meditate, the more they feel, the more they cry, the more they laugh, the more they see, the more they notice. All of this is a result of that softening towards self. So in fact, meditation makes you more vulnerable. You feel more. You become more human, not less. Pain, joys and sorrows touch you. And there's a general quality of unguardedness that can be quite unsettling. But that same unguardedness is also the gateway to the things we value the most. Without knowing you, I feel very confident saying this. What you value the most, what you long for, is love, wisdom, insight, innovation, understanding. Now, all of these things have one thing in common. None of them are things that we can go out and get. You can't put on your to-do list for today, have great ideas, find love. No, these are not things that can be cranked up. Rather, they are things that arise when we make space. If we look at meditation in no other way, it can be as the cultivation of the space of receptivity in which all that we long for can actually come to us. So this is not a prescription for peace, if by peace we mean pain doesn't hurt me. Rather, it is a prescription for something much more potent: authenticity, genuineness, being who you really are. And when you show up as your true self, the likelihood that true love will come to you, not someone who you're pretending to be, is vastly increased. So just to summarize quickly, meditation is simply the substitution for your discursive thoughts with another object of attention, in our case, the breath. There are 3 big misconceptions to avoid. The first is that in order to meditate, you have to stop thinking. Just stop thinking that, and you'll be fine. The second is that meditation is a form of self-help. It is not. It is a spiritual practice of transformation. And the third is that meditation will make you more peaceful. It may from time to time, but in fact, it will make you more genuine. And there is nothing more magnetizing than authenticity.